Hi, this is lecture number 6 on transportation and game theory. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about stepping stone method. So identifying a basic feasible solution. We discuss three methods: northwest corner method, minimum cost method, or we can say this is least cost method. And third is Vogel's approximation method, or sometimes we call this penalty cost method. So by using these methods, we identify the basic feasible solution. Now we have to find the optimal solution. Optimal solution, for checking to finding the optimal solution, we following two methods. First is stepping stone method. Second is modified distribution method, or we call this MODI method. So this is the problem. We have already discussed about this problem in our previous video lectures. When we solve this problem by northwest corner method, then we get the transportation cost be rupees 980. When we solve this by least cost method or minimum cost method, then the cost reduced to rupees 960. When we use Vogel's approximation method, then we find out the cost is 920 rupees. So Vogel's approximation method gives us the minimum cost. So now we have to check that is Vogel's approximation method gives the optimal solution or not. If this is not, then we have to find which what is the optimal solution for this problem. Okay. So we in this video lecture we are discussing only stepping stone method. Okay, so first, basic feasible solution to a transportation problem. How we can find the basic feasible solution? A basic feasible solution to a transportation problem satisfying the following condition. What are those conditions? The row and column, that is supply and demand constraints, are satisfied. Second, the non-negativity constraints are satisfied. Third, the allocations are independent and do not form a loop. Now we use a different word. This is loop. We will discuss about this, right? So we have to check whether the allocation, where we allocate the items, they must be independent and they do not form a loop. And fourth important point is there are exactly m plus n minus 1 allocations. So in northwest corner method, least cost method, Vogel's approximation method, what we observe that the allocations are not more than m plus n minus 1. Now question is, what is loop? So if we have the same problem, if we allocate items in like this, 10 item in this place, 30 in this place, 50 in this place, 10 in this place, 10, 30 and 10 in this place. So what we check, it satisfy all the supply and demand constraints. What are those? 30 plus 10, 40, it satisfied. 10 plus 10, 20, it satisfied. 30, it satisfy the column. 50 plus 10, 60, it satisfy the supply second. Now 30 plus 10, 40 plus 10, 50, again it satisfies the third supply point. 50 satisfies the demand point. 30 plus 10 plus 10, it again 50. So it satisfies all the supply and demand constraints. But now we have to check whether it form a loop or not, or how many allocations are there. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 allocations. Number of rows are m is equal to number of rows, that is 3. Number of column n, we take n, that is equal to 4. So we have for basic feasible solution, we have m plus n minus 1 allocations. So that is 4 plus 3 minus 1, that is equal to 6. But what we observe in this situation, because it satisfies all the supply and demand constraint, even then there are exactly m plus n minus 1 allocations. If we have sorry, it has more than m plus n minus 1 allocation, right? Because the number of allocations are 7. So if the number of allocations are more than m plus n minus 1, then the allocations are not independent. So they form a loop. Now, how we can check that they form a loop? If we start from any one of them, for example, if we start from here, we have to move horizontally or vertically. So we move from this point to this point horizontally. And then, because there are three allocations, so we can directly go to this point without going to this station. So we can go to this. If there is an allocation in between, no issue. We go directly to the third point. So we move horizontally or vertically, right? But not diagonally. We don't go from this to this like this. इस तरीके से हम vertically move नहीं करेंगे. So in when we have to check the allocations are independent, what we have to do? We have to go from one station, one point, one allocation point to another allocation point by horizontally or vertically. So we move from this to this horizontally, then we move to this vertically. Now we come to this point horizontally, and then again we came to this point vertically. Now what we observe? If we start from one point and move horizontally and vertically and came to the same point, if it means it become a loop. So we get a loop. So this is a loop. And if there is a loop, it means the allocations are not independent. So in this case, what we have to do? We have to break the loop. We have to make the number of allocations are exactly m plus n minus 1, right? So to get the basic feasible solution. So this is the objective. But so again, check how we can find that the allocation form a loop or not. We have to move horizontally or vertically, and if we start from any allocation and came back to the same allocation by moving horizontally or vertically, then it form a loop. It means if there is a loop, then we can say the allocations are not independent. So now, even if we check from this point, then we move to this point and then to this point and came back to this vertically and came back horizontally. So if what we observe, now it again become a loop, right? So if there is a loop, what we get? That the allocations are not independent. So in this case, we have to break the loop. Now how we can break the loop? A loop can be broken in two ways, one of which will result in a solution with lesser cost, that is non-increasing cost. It is advisable to break the loop as we did and obtain a better solution with lesser cost. So first we have to break the loop, and the purpose for breaking the loop is we have to reduce the cost, transportation cost. Second point is, when a feasible solution has more than m plus n minus 1 allocation, as in our above example, this we have more than m plus n minus 1 allocations. As in our case, there is a loop. So we have already discussed about this, because we have more than m plus n minus 1 allocation. So there is a loop, and we break it to get a basic feasible solution without a loop. So we have to break this loop, and so that we get the basic feasible solution without a loop, right? So it means we have to reduce this, the number of allocations to be m plus n minus, exactly m plus n minus 5. Third point is, we also observe that the three methods, northwest corner method, least cost method, and Vogel's approximation method, will not give more than m plus n minus 1 allocation. ये तीनों के तीनों मेथड हमें m plus n minus 1 से ज्यादा allocation हमें नहीं देते हैं. Since they allocate the maximum possible every time, they will not have a solution. Right? So now these are the basic, how we get the basic feasible solution. When we find a loop, if the allocations are more than m plus n minus 1, what we do to find the optimal solution, we have to break the loop so that the maximum, so that we get the basic feasible solution. And after getting basic feasible solution, we find out whether the solution is optimal or not. So now we discuss one method that is called stepping stone method. We have discussed this method, this problem. We are considering this same problem. So we have discussed this problem by northwest corner method, least cost method, and Vogel's approximation method. So this is one of the basic feasible solution given by any one of them. Okay? By Vogel's approximation method or least cost method or northwest corner method. You can check. So now what we have to do? We have to check whether it is basic feasible or not. So number of allocations are m plus n minus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total number of allocations are 6. Yes. And row is 3. Number of rows are 3. Number of columns are 4. So 4 plus 3, 7 minus 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. So we get exactly m plus n minus 1 allocation. So this, and second, is it satisfy the supply and demand constraint? So we check 20 plus 20, 40. Yes, it satisfies. 50 plus 10, 60. Yes, it satisfies the second supply point. 40 plus 10, it is 50. Now come to column 20. 20 plus 10, 30, 50, 40 plus 10. So it satisfies all the supply and demand constraint. The number of allocations are m plus n minus 1. Now we check whether they form a loop or not, whether the allocations are independent or not. Now if we start from here, if move from this point horizontally and then vertically, then horizontally, then vertically, then horizontally. But we are not able to reach this point, initial point. So this does not form a loop. So we have to check all the possibility. If we start from here, came to this point, and then this point, and this point, but now we have to reach 50, but we don't move diagonally. That's why we focus on if we move horizontally or vertically. So we don't follow diagonal route, right? So this again don't form a loop, right? So now you can check each and every points are independent point. Now what we have to do? We have to check how we can use stepping stone method, how we can check that whether this is the optimal solution or not, right? So we have find total cost rupees 960. This is you can check whether it is by least cost method or Vogel's approximation method, right? So we start with the basic feasible solution. While discussing the problem with stepping stone method, what we have to keep in mind, we start with the basic feasible solution. This is one of the solution as we obtained by either Vogel's approximation method or least cost method. This is basic feasible solution. This solution is basic feasible because it satisfies all the constraints, that is supply and demand constraint. Second, it does not have a loop. We have already checked. Third, it has m plus n minus 1 independent allocations. So we have already checked that the number of allocations are m plus n minus 1, that is 6. So now we start. Now what we do, we have to check each and every non-allocated position. So what are those non-allocated positions? This is non-allocated position, this is non-allocated, this is non-allocated, this one, and this one. So number of non-allocated positions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have number of non-allocated positions are m plus n minus that is equal to 6. Now we have to check each and every non-allocated point. If we allocate at that particular point, then what happen? The cost is increase or decrease. So let us, if we allocate one item here, let's suppose if we allocate one item in this point, now what happen? The number of allocation become 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now it form a loop. What we have to do? We have to break the loop. So how we can break the loop? We first we check which elements, which allocations form a loop. So we start from this point, we move vertically, we move horizontally, we move vertically, we move horizontally, vertically, and then came back to this point. So it form a loop like this. So this is a loop. It means the number of allocations are not independent. The loop, if at any point, if any of the allocations form a loop, then it means the number of allocations are not independent. So what we have to do? We have to break the loop. We have to make the allocation independent. Okay. So if we allocate one item in this place, so is the problem balanced? 20 plus 20 40 plus 1 41. So it become 41, but we have 40 item in this place. 50 plus 1, it become 51, but we have demand of only 50 items. What we have to do? We have to manage. If we allocate one item in non-allocated position, then we have to similarly subtract the position from one point and add another point. How we can add or subtract? If we add this, so if we move to this point vertically, so we have to subtract 1. So I can write this minus 1. So it become 49. 49 plus 1, it become 50. So if we subtract 1 point, so we have to add 1. So you have to move like plus minus 1. Plus 1, minus 1, plus 1. And then here we have to reduce one item. We have to add one item. We have to reduce one item. So if we allocate one item in non-allocated position, अगर इस नॉन एलोकेटेड पोजीशन के ऊपर एक आइटम आप एलोकेट करते हो, सो आपको किस तरीके से जहां जहां लूप बन रही है, हर एक एलोकेशन पॉइंट पे जहां से प्लस आपने किया, अगले पे आप माइनस करो, उसके अगले पे प्लस करो, फिर माइनस करो, प्लस करो, देन माइनस करो. नाउ यू कैन चेक कि इट सेटिस्फाई द सप्लाई एंड डिमांड कंस्ट्रेंट, राइट. अब इसमें कॉस्ट इफेक्ट क्या हुआ? सो इफ वी allocate वन आइटम, एक आइटम हमने एलोकेट कहाँ की? दिस इज x13, दिस इज x13 पोजीशन, फर्स्ट रो थर्ड कॉलम. सो अगर हमने एक आइटम यहाँ एलोकेट की, नो व्हाट इज द चेंज इन द कॉस्ट? कॉस्ट में कितना इफेक्ट करेगा एक आइटम, राइट. सो एक आइटम का कॉस्ट इस पोजीशन पे कितना है? 8 रुपीज. सो आई कैन ऐड 1. सेकेंड में इस पॉइंट पे इट रिड्यूस बाय 1, एक आइटम हमने कम की, और कम करने का मतलब हुआ कि 6 रुपीज कम हो गया. तो 1 8 माइनस 6. अगले में जब गए यहाँ पर, तो यहाँ 7 रुपीज ऐड हुआ, प्लस 1 है, एक आइटम ऐड हो रही है तो प्लस 7. यहाँ पर नेक्स्ट में गए तो एक आइटम कम हो रही है, तो इट मीन्स 8 रुपीज यहाँ से कम हो गया. नेक्स्ट में यहाँ पहुंचे तो इट इंक्रीज द कॉस्ट बाई 7 रुपीज, सो प्लस 7. जब यहाँ इस पॉइंट पे आए तो इट रिड्यूस द कॉस्ट बाई 6 रुपीज. 6 इंटू माइनस 1 माइनस 6. टोटल इफेक्ट कितना आया? 8 माइनस 6 इट इज 2, 2 प्लस 7 9, 9 माइनस 8 1, 1 प्लस 7 8, 8 माइनस 6 2 रुपीज. इट मीन्स अगर हम एक आइटम यहाँ एलोकेट करते हैं इस पॉइंट पे x13 पे, तो हमारा एक एक आइटम के ऊपर कॉस्ट जो है वो 2-2 रुपए इंक्रीज होता जाएगा. Is it better? Is this non-allocated point give us the minimum? No. This because अगर एक आइटम का कॉस्ट 2 रुपए बढ़ना शुरू हो गया, अगर यहाँ हम 10 आइटम भेजेंगे तो कॉस्ट इंक्रीज बाय 20 रुपीज. अगर 20 आइटम भेजेंगे कॉस्ट इंक्रीज बाय 40 rupees, right? So now we have to check the second possibility. So we will not prefer this station, this allocation, non-allocated point. We will not allocate any single item in this point, because अगर यहाँ allocate करते हैं तो उससे हमारा cost per unit cost, एक एक item का cost it is increased by 2. So I can write cost increased by 2 per unit, right? It is per unit cost. So I can write per unit cost increased by 2. Now we have to check the other possibility. So if we allocate items at this point, if we allocate one item in this point, x14, now I write x14. So what we observe, how is this form a loop or not? Yes, we start from this, we move to this directly, and then this point, and then this point, and came back to this. So it form a loop. Yes. Now we have to check if we add one item in this point, the cost is increased by 8. But at the same point here, it is decreased by 1. At same point, it is increased by 1. At same point, it is decreased by 1. Right? So now we have to check. जहां जहां loop बन रही है, हमें वही point लेना है. अगर बीच में जैसे देखो इस point पे allocate किया, यहाँ पर allocation है, यहाँ allocate. We have to jump. Direct हम 40 पे चले जाएंगे. We don't go to this point 10. Right? So now cost, what is the change in cost? एक आइटम इस पॉइंट पे एलोकेट की और कॉस्ट उसका 8 रुपीज, so कॉस्ट हो गया यहाँ 8. यहाँ पर जब एक आइटम हमने रिड्यूस की और कॉस्ट भी रिड्यूस हो गया बाई 8 into 1. यहाँ कॉस्ट इंक्रीज हुआ बिकॉज वन आइटम एलोकेट की और 7 रुपीज का पर यूनिट कॉस्ट है, सो इट इंक्रीज बाई 7 plus 7. Here it is decreased by 6 rupees. So net effect is 8 minus 8 becomes 0, 7 minus 6 is 1. So cost is increased by 1. But it is better as compared to previous one. But even then we don't prefer this. Increase by 1. यहाँ भी हमारा जो cost है वो increase हो रहा है. So what we do? We check the third possibility. We have to check each and every non-allocated position. So now we move to third non-allocated point. Now we have to check this. If we add one item there, now we have to check कि loop कहाँ से बन गया. So if we move to if we move from this point to this point directly, right, and came back to this point vertically, and then this point, and then this point, and then this point, and then came to this point. So it form a loop. This. In this way, it become a loop. Now we have to check what is the net effect. So it in this point it is increased by 1. We allocate one item. So here we have to reduce one item. Here we have to increase one item. Here we have to reduce one item. In this point we have to increase one item. Here we have to decrease one item. आपने एक में प्लस किया तो उसके कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग जहां एंड हो रहा है उस हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन का, वहां पर आपने सिमिलर डिक्रीज करना है. अगर उस पे डिक्रीज किया तो नेक्स्ट वाले पे इंक्रीज करना है. दिस प्रोसेस कब तक करोगे? जब तक आप लास्ट इनिशियल पॉइंट पे वापस ना जाओ. नाउ इट इज x21 लोकेशन. नाउ वी हैव टू चेक कि कॉस्ट में कितना इफेक्ट आएगा, पर यूनिट कॉस्ट में कितना चेंज आएगा. ओके, सो वी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर. कॉस्ट इज 1 into 6, it is 6. 7 into -1, it is -7. 8 into +1, it is 8. 7 into minus 1, it is minus 7. 6 into plus 1, it is 6. 4 into minus 1, it is minus 4. So total cost is 6 minus 7 minus 1. Minus 1 plus 8 is 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. And 6 minus 4, it is 2. So again, it is increased by 2. Increased by 2. So we don't prefer, again, we don't prefer this allocation point. So now we have to check. Now we have to check this point. If we allocate item in this point, x 2, 2, what happened? We start from this point, we move to this point, we move to this point horizontally, then vertically, then came back to this point. So it form a loop. Right? Now, if we add one item in this point, so we have to subtract one item. We have to add one item in this point. We have to subtract one item in this point. So that supply and demand constraints are satisfied. Now, net effect क्या होगा cost में? इस यहाँ पर it is increased by 8. Second में it is decreased by 7. Third में it is increased by 8. Fourth में it is decreased by 7. So total 8 plus 8, 16. 7 minus 7 minus 14. So again we get 2. So here it is also increased by 2. Right? So we don't prefer this point also. So right? So x22 is also increased by, we get plus 2 increased by 2. Okay. Now we check this point. If we add one item in this point, then this form a loop. This form a loop. Right? So it is increased. If we allocate one item there, we have to reduce one item there, we have to add one item there, we have to reduce one item there. Now, what is the net effect in the cost? x31. x31 cost is 5 minus 7 plus 6 minus 4. Now, 6 plus 5, 11. 7 minus 4, it is 11. So we get 0. Now, if we allocate some item in this point, what we get? We get again the same cost, rupee 960. It means there is no change in the cost. So we get another option, right? If we get 0 value, it means we get another choice, another option, alternate method to send the items. So yes, this allocation, we prefer this allocation. So okay, now x31 is reduced by, so x31 we get 0. So in this there is no change in the cost. Now we check this one. This is the last non-allocated part. So if we add one item there, then we move horizontally, vertically, horizontally, and then vertically. So we came, so this form a loop. Now this form a loop. So if we add one item, we have to subtract one item here. We have to add one item here. We have to subtract one item here. So that it's satisfy the supply and demand constraint. Now x33. Now we have to check कि इसमें net cost में change क्या आएगा. So in first it is increased by 6. Second it is decreased by 8. Third it is increased by 7. Fourth it is decreased by 6. So we get 8 minus 6 minus 8 minus 6 minus 14. 7 plus 6 13. So it is reduced by 1. So if we allocate some item in this, so cost is reduced by 1 or decreased by 1. We can say it is decreased by 1. So we prefer this point. If we allocate at this point, then our cost is decreased by 1. So okay, so we now what we do, we have to allocate maximum number of item in this point. क्योंकि अगर यहाँ allocate करने से cost एक item allocate करने से ₹1 कम हो रहा है. So our goal is कि इस point पे what we do, we have to allocate maximum number of item in this point. लेकिन हम maximum allocation कैसे कर सकते हैं? It also depend upon कि it satisfy the supply and demand constraint. So मान लो if we allocate, हमने यहाँ 1 item add की थी, 1 की बजाय हम what we do, if we add some theta item here, if we add some theta item in this point, तो यहाँ क्या होगा, the because we have to satisfy the supply and demand constraint, तो ये 40 minus theta हो जाएगा, ये 10 plus theta होगा और it become 50 minus theta, right? अब what is the maximum choice of theta? अगर theta हम 40 ले लें, if we take theta equal to 40, so 40 minus 40, this becomes 0. 10 plus 40, it becomes 50. 50 minus 40, it becomes 10. So now we can check, is it satisfy the supply and demand constraint? Yes. 20 plus 20, 40, yes. 10 plus 50, 60, yes. 10 plus 40, 50, yes. It satisfies the supply. Now demand 20, 30, 40 plus 10, 50, 50, 50, yes. So it satisfies the supply and demand constraint. So now what are the allocation? We have to write the new possibility. So this is the new possibility. We allocate 40 item here, 0 in this point, so no need to write 0, and 50 in this point and 10 in this point. Even we can 50 in this point, sorry, 10 in this point and 50 in this point. So now we can check. Number of allocations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So m plus n minus 1. It is a basic feasible solution. Now we have to check the cost. Now cost in this case. $20 into 4, it is 80. Plus 20 into 6, it is 120. 10 into 6, it is 60. Plus 15 to 7, it is 350. Plus 10 into 7, it is 70. Plus 14 to 6, it is 240. So it becomes 200, 260, 560, 610, 680, 880, 920. So we get rupees 920. Now you can check. The cost is reduced by 40 rupees. Initially we have the transportation cost is rupees 960, but by allocating some item in this point x33, what we get the cost is reduced by rupees 920. Now our problem is reduced to 20, 20, 10, 20, 20, 10, 50, 10, 40, 10, 40, 40, 60, 50, 20, 30, 50, 50. Now we can write the per unit cost. So per unit cost is it is 4, it is 6, 8, 8, 6, 8, 6, 7, 5, 7, 6, 8. Now, in this problem, because it is a basic feasible solution, so we get cost rupees 920. Now we check whether it is optimal or not. So again, we start with the same process. We choose this point, non-allocated point. This is X13. We allocate one item in this point. We start from this point. We directly go to this point and horizontally. Now we move horizontally and then vertically and then horizontally to this point. Right? So what we observe, it form a loop. It form a loop. How it form a loop? By this. Right? Now, what is the change? If we allocate one item in this point, what is the change in per unit cost? So, अगर one यहाँ add किया तो we have to subtract one here. We have to add one here. We have to subtract one here. Now, X13 पे अगर हम allocate करते हैं, what is the change? Change is 8 into 1 plus 1, 8, minus 6 into 1, minus 1 into 6, minus 6, plus 7, minus 6. So we get 8 plus 7, 15, 6 minus 6, minus 6, minus 12, so 3. So cost is increased by 3. So whether we opt for this allocation point, no, we never opt this non-allocated position, because here the cost, per unit cost is increased by 3, right? So now again we move to next point. So X13, it is increased by 3. Increased by 3. Now we choose this point. If we allocate this one item in this point, then how we can move? We move horizontally, vertically, horizontally, vertically, horizontally, vertically. Okay. So again, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1. Okay. Now we change, we see what is the net effect in cost. So X14 is 8, minus 6, plus 7, minus 6, plus 6, minus 7. It is 8 plus 7, 15, 15 plus 6, 21, plus के 21, 6 plus 6, 12, 12 minus 12 plus 7, 19. So 21 minus 19, it is 2. So it is again increased by 2. So we don't prefer this point also. So X14 is also increased by 2. Okay. Now you have to check each and every point. So X21, if we allocate in this point, X21, so what you get, it is increased by 1. If you check X22, it is increased by 1. If you check X31, it is 0. So there is no change. So if we get 0, it means we have another possibility how we can allocate, but the cost remains same. X33, if we X3, yeah, X33, so it is increased by 1. Plus means increased by 1. So in each and every point, the cost is increased except this one. So this point gives us another choice how we can send the item. So since there is no negative, so we don't get any negative. Since there is no negative, so we realize that the optimal solution is reached, right? 0 means we get the same value, but we, by allocating a single item at each non-allocated point, we don't get any negative value. It means the cost is not decreased by 1. So this by allocating the such type of allocations, we get the optimal solution, and the optimal solution is, that is, the cost is rupees 920, right? So now these methods, stepping stone method, gives us another possibility how we can allocate. So if we choose this one, right, x3 one, if we choose x3 one, this is the non-allocation point. So if we put theta item this point, so we have to subtract theta item to this, because this form a loop, this form a loop. So we have to add theta item there, we have to subtract theta item here. So what is the possibility, what are the maximum value of theta? Is it 20 or is it 10? अगर हम 20 लेते हैं तो क्या होगा, यहाँ 10 minus 20 it is -10 हो जाएगा. तो माइनस नेगेटिव हमें ये भी देखना है कि xij and cij is always greater than equal to 0. सो नॉन नेगेटिविटी कांस्टेंट को भी वो कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई करनी चाहिए, नेगेटिव आंसर नहीं आना चाहिए. सो मैक्सिमम आइटम वी कैन एलोकेट, दैट इज 10. अगर हम 10 एलोकेट यहाँ करें, सो इफ वी एलोकेट 10 आइटम इन दिस पॉइंट, if we choose theta equal to 10, then it becomes 0. So here we don't allocate anything. So here it becomes 30, here it becomes 10. So now we can calculate the cost. 10 into 4 it becomes 40, plus 30 into 6 it becomes 180, plus 10 into 5 it becomes 50, plus 10 into 6 it becomes 60, 50 into 7 it becomes 350, plus 40 into 6 it becomes 240. So when we add, so 40 plus 180, 220, 270, 330, 680 plus 240, it becomes 900. So again we get rupees 900, but the allocations are changed, right? So we get alternate solution, alternate option choice, how we can send the items, but the solution remains same. It means we reach to the optimal solution. So this 920 से कम हम इसको cost को reduce नहीं कर सकते. We have checked each and every possibility. So this is the purpose of stepping stone method. So so that by using stepping stone method, what we get the optimal solution. Even you can observe, we have already find this solution by Vogel's approximation method, but is it optimal or not? So stepping stone method and modified distribution method help us to check whether this is optimal or not. After calculating, after allocating each and every item in the non-allocated position, but we observe whether the cost is increased by some rupees or it remains 0. It means 0 means there is no change in the cost, right? If we get negative value, it means cost is decreased by, so we prefer the negative value. और नेगेटिव में अगर हमारे पास -1 और -2 आ रहा है, सो वी प्रेफर -2 वाला जो नॉन एलोकेटेड पोजीशन होगी, वी प्रेफर -2. क्यों? उससे हमारा एक आइटम से 2 रुपए कम हो रहा है. सो इफ वी सेंड मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ आइटम इन दिस पॉइंट, सो कॉस्ट इज रिड्यूस्ड बाय number of item theta into 2. So cost is reduced by 2 theta, right? So this is the stepping stone method. You can discuss more, you can solve more examples related to this. We will discuss modified distribution method in our next video lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.